Miami edition. And now, your hosts, Jeff Cameron, Gene Williams, and Earl.
Welcome to the Warchant Man Cave Show here at the Seventh Hill Tap Room, right on Appalachia Parkway next to the Waterberg and below the corner pocket. Everybody knows what the corner pocket is,
directly
of course.
Upstairs, yeah.
That's right. And, of course, our friends at Jimmy John's here, Freaky Good, Freaky Fast. Love the mini Jimmys, man. Those are so great for tailgating or catering. Man, just load up in those things. Now, you notice there's one missing there. I couldn't help myself.
You already started. You did the right thing in the front row.
I'm trying to be respectful there.
There you go. There you go.
It's all good. So check them out, JimmyJohns.com. We're joined by our friend Earl here. Earl, get it. We need some enthusiasm. Get us going.
Let's go, Sammy. No.
All right, Earl.
Earl was at the first ever home Florida State football game. Ever.
Wow.
First one ever. Earl was there.
That's something.
That's my man.
You got any defensive coordinator experience, Earl?
I could do better with some of them.
Oh, there you go. All right.
I could tackle.
All right, we may need you, Earl, so don't go away. Of course, we got our unmentionables. Got a few unmentionables here tonight. Hey, guys. All right, enthusiastic crowd, man. I like it. Of course, the Seven Hill Tap Room, the beautiful thing is...
Taps.
Here we go, man. We got the taps. I'm going to go over here.
You got me, Gene?
I got you, Jeff. I'm going to do it. Hopefully I'll tap better. I've had some problems in the past, so we'll see how we do here.
I'm going to trust your excellence here.
All right, we'll see. Now, I'm going to start over here. I know you like the La La Land from Proof.
From Proof.
So go a little La La Land here.
Absolutely.
So we'll tap Jeff out some La La Land. There's some good stuff there.
And
then... they brought back, let me see if it's over there. They've got, the nutsack is back.
Hey.
I know Jeff's a big fan of the nutsack.
Nothing like nutsack, I'll tell you what. There we go.
I'm going to load up a little. What do you say about that, Earl?
Thank God we have something to hold it.
Oh, boy.
Earl, still quick.
This show is going off the rails fast, Jeffrey.
Cheers to your nutsack, Gene.
Right,
there you go, buddy. All right. That's all right.
All right.
Nicely done.
All right, let's look back. Fallout, Florida State, North Carolina. It was ugly.
God damn it.
This isn't an FCC thing, so I guess you can say what you want there. But children, we should have put the NR or whatever before the beginning. Should we do that?
Frustration boils over.
By the way, if we can do that next time, Ryan Kelly can get the little NR or something.
I apologize
beforehand for language. But what at the beginning, like the movies, they put the L and the just the language. There's nothing else.
Next time, I'll do viewer discretion is
advised. There you go. Perfect. All right. FSU loses 54-yard field goal. We call it. Some people are like it's not a heartbreaking loss. It kind of wasn't because you really didn't feel like you deserved the win, right?
Yeah, but that's the same thing that happened the last time we played them in Tallahassee, and we had a chance to steal that one. And if you remember, Dustin Hopkins missed the field goal, and we lost by the exact same score. And even though people said, "Well, we didn't deserve to win," damn it, I like winning. I mean, when you got a chance to steal the win, and you can. I'd rather that be the.
Yeah, I would definitely take it.
It would not erase our problems. Right.
You wouldn't be jumping up and down. I guess it made it. And I at first was like, they really deserve it when I saw that little hippie punk running around doing the chop. And then I was like, that made me a little angry.
I thought about what year is he? When do we play them again? Accidentally follow through on it happens. Things can happen.
Yeah.
That's just me. But he made the kick.
All right, heartbreaking FSU losses. We're going to do this. So there's been a few. Come on, Jeffrey. A couple of guys have drinks and they talk about the toughest losses.
Well, all the wide rights.
We're usually on the same page.
I was at every wide right.
Wide right one's got to be on there.
That's number one.
So you've done that. Because FSU played them. They deserve the win. And they probably would have gone on won a national
26-25, 1986. Is that correct? Miami?
87.
87. That's
the
one.
That one. That's another one. That's on my list.
That's number one on my list. I was very young. I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore, and I was nearly in tears in that game because we were dominating the game. I think it was 19-6 in the fourth quarter, and then Michael Irvin goes nuts, and that game.
And that was, again, there's something like, 60 guys went on to the NFL.
Oh, it's an incredible game. It's one of the all-time best games.
To me, I remember that it was such a well-played game. And you could kind of tell, man, there's something special about this game.
Well, it was a beautiful day, too. You remember that? I rember tailgating. I mean, as much as I could tailgate in high school with my dad.
I wasn't back in sophomore in high school.
No, but I remember hanging out. We were there, what became Spanish Town Apartments and all. I loved it. It was a good time. Yeah.
I'd say the 97 Florida game's another one that really bugged me.
I was at that game in Gainesville, that very painful game.
It's the one you knew that was a team that could have won a national championship.
Well, they were the better team, and they got outcoached.
They did. They really did that one. Spur did it. We went conservative down on the goal line, and then Jaquez Green happened on that long play.
They used Fred Taylor to chip off the edge to make sure our ends couldn't get to their quarterback,
the wide left in 2002, one of those, because that was the Greg Jones game when he went nuts. And Miami was really good. They were number one that year.
We had no business.
Had them.
I'll give you a true story about that game. I was on the air, and we did a pregame show that day, and Matt Millar was my old producer, friend of the program. Good old Matt Millar, still lives here right by where I live. And he called me this morning to say, hey, do you remember before that 2002 game I predicted that we would go down there and play well when nobody thought we would? And he did. He said that on the air. And Greg Jones ran wild, and we deserved to win that game. But as always, Miami coming out of a timeout in the fourth quarter through a screen pass.
And went for 70.
It always did. It was Mickey's great weakness.
But you remember the play before that? I think it hit Rufus Brown in the chest.
Yes.
All he had to do is hold on to that. It's over.
Yeah.
Old Rufus.
Damn it.
Rufus for Heisman. I don't know if you remember that was an old Warchant thing. There was a campaign for Rufus to win the Heisman that year.
Yeah.
He lost the Heisman on that play. And I would say also throw in there, just to throw something non-Florida, non-Miami out there, I'd say the first loss to Virginia, 1995.
I was living off of St. Augustine
It's
Street.
inconceivable that you could lose a game in the ACC.
Danny Cannell threw for like 400 and something yards in that game, although the game plan was flawed because all we did was throw. And you could run, and everybody thinks it worked, done got in. But I will say this. I was incredibly immature at that time. Imagine that. And I was living off of St. Augustine in an apartment complex there that was a dive. And I remember standing next to a guy who may or may not have thrown a beer bottle against the brick wall after that was ruled not a touchdown. That was something. A person that I know.
I know Dunn still insists he got in. I don't really know if he got in.
I think he's bobbling the ball.
I think it's a great. Was it Poindexter that hit him down?
Yeah.
It was a great play by them. You got to give him credit. But let's go to more positive. 6 in a row, Jeffrey. Beautiful thing. It's been fabulous, and it makes up for some of those frustrations in the 80s and 90s, some of those games.
I think it's 8 of the last 9, Gene, as well.
Yeah, it's something now.
It's a prolific streak.
Now I'm curious, what are your favorites during this 6-game streak? Because there's been some really good ones.
Well, my favorite was the one when Jimbo gave the ball to Chris Thompson not once but twice after it was called back, and that was 40.
I think that was 2010. That was my favorite too because it broke the streak. I mean, it was the first time Jimbo's first game.
Miami was favored, first of all. Miami was favored.
And they blew them out at home.
Well, also, I ended up having a guy on the show that is your equivalent down in Miami, runs a website.
Gary Furman?
Yeah, I had Gary Furman on the show. And Gary...
Gary was a little arrogant, I'm guessing.
Incredibly arrogant. Yeah. And Gary told us, hey, listen, it's not your time quite yet. Maybe this will be a sign that you're moving closer to where we're at. Mm-hmm. And you felt like you were armed and dangerous knowing that Jimbo had built something and we were moving in the right direction. And Gary's final prediction was that Miami would win by 21. So that was fun. That was really a wonderful day.
They love us on Cane Sport, too.
Oh, they're big fans.
They're all tuning in right now.
Listen, if you Canes out there that are going to send me hate mail this week, wasn't there a site called Grassy?
Grassy Knoll.
Yeah, there was a site that people,
it was very popular back in the late 90s, 2000s.
All time,
And I'll say the other one I like was 2014, just because they had hope. You got to. They're like, okay, we're not going to win. They got up 16-0, and then I think 23-7, and they had that little sliver. You know what? We might upset Florida State and break the streak, and the best thing is to snatch hope away from them.
Oh, watching
when Jameis started to roll, and they knew it was coming.
Crestfallen. It was. I sat on the 50 for that game in the stands as a fan with a fellow alumnus, and we sat there rooting. And obviously, we were overwhelmed in the first half, and then you get the Dalvin Cook touchdown where he embarrasses the safety on the one dime cut and goes. But the point of that was that at halftime they had the lead and didn't believe they were going to win because of the way that the half ended. And they knew we didn't get enough done. We didn't get enough points on the board. And what you have to hope for this Saturday night when it's electric down there is that there is this here we go again feeling because Dalvin Cook is running
wild.
Well,
that's what we talked about before in the Warchant report. If it's close in the fourth quarter, that's going to be sneaking into their minds. If FSU's in the game, what usually happens?
When you're trying to end a losing streak against a rival, and you've lost so many, and there is that ominous feel to the way a game is playing out. It's odd that Tennessee came back the way they did against Florida because I'll tell you why. The first half of that game sees Florida hit a bunch of long passes, and the Tennessee fans, 100,000 plus at Neyland, are completely silent. Now, they've lost 11 straight to Florida, and it's this, are you effing kidding me again? So Florida State has to put themselves in a position to not get down 14-0, not get down 16-0, we've been doing, 21-0, 20. Get out and score early. I would have liked to take the ball, and I'd give it to Dalvin 20 times if I had to in the first 2 quarters and see, hey, we're here.
I'm with you.
You may beat us, but you're going to have to beat us 50-49 because we're scoring. Yeah.
I'm with you. Now, I know, Jeff, you take special pleasure in beating Miami, maybe more than Florida.
More than anything else. More
really?
than Florida,
well, that's
sure.
something about that. Now, I'm curious about, I'm going to go through some of the things here about why that is. Now, there's a few factors. There's the fans.
Worst
you know,
fans
you got
in
the
sports,
fans.
yeah.
You got they do this you thing.
Right.
There's the heartbreaking losses we talked about. There's things like Vanilla Ice. There's the annoying mascot. I mean, there's all those factors.
Is Vanilla Ice behind
Yeah, I
the
think we got Vanilla.
Is that about
there he goes. There he is. There's your boy.
Oh, nice
is it that
shirt.
guy? You know, that's the fun thing, the swag, all that. You know, and I'm going to do a little memory lane here. By the way, we're going to show a series of clips here to show you memories from the 6-game win streak. And this is for you, Jeff, because you take such pleasure. Not that.
No,
that's not. You don't want to know that.
That's not stunning. Oh, the double middle finger.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, the double middle finger with Jameis laughing at her. Yeah,
there we go.
Oh yeah, the sadness.
No, this is not.
Deep
Let's
in their
go
hearts.
with the.
This is not it.
All right, keep
it
going.
rolling.
Keep
Keep it
going.
rolling.
Roll. There we go.
Oh,
taunting the fans.
Little 305 is nice.
Yeah, he does that. Yep, 305 for him.
Nice.
Oh,
you and me.
realized
boats and hose.
From one of the game days
I
in Miami.
forgot it, but
that
I
was
love
from
it.
one of the
That
Miami
is
game days. Boats
That's
and
our
hose.
best moment right there.
Yeah, we made ESPN game day right there.
Oh,
the suffering
man.
Miami fans.
Yeah, that
That's
beard
beautiful.
is not shocking. That looks very
Yeah,
similar.
there we go. Yep.
Oh,
45 cents. That was the
man.
2010 game.
Yeah, that'll hurt your feelings. Yeah, these are all good. Oh, more disappointment.
Yeah,
more
disappointment,
sadness,
Miami fans.
dark, depressing sadness. Yep.
And there we go. Yep.
Woo!
There it is.
Man,
There's that
whoopings
score.
galore.
We
Sure.
like it.
Keep it rolling.
Here we go.
Keep
That's
it rolling.
Tallahassee.
There's
That's
another one. Another loss for Miami.
And remember, that was a streaker. The streaker was, remember the
yep.
streaker in one of the games?
Just so many losses. So many losses in a row for Miami.
Now, you know, they've had,
Yeah,
so sad.
Yeah.
They've had one of their players come out. Did you see the Gerald Willis tweet?
I did not.
We're going to put it up here in a minute, but Gerald Willis tweeted, next week, it's personal, middle finger extended.
Well, he's classy. He's classy. You know? I mean, there you go. That's all right. They've said that every week. They bring up the whole personal thing. It's personal. But when you've lost 8 of 9 or 7 of 8.
Well, that's why it's personal.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you've just been boat raced so many times, just back in your hole.
But now we've had some fun, I'd say, taunting at their expense after we won. I want to see, Jeff, what is your favorite? I mean, we have players that do the you thing. You've noticed that, and I'm going to show you
First
the top
of all,
ones in the last over the 6 years.
Right to their face.
And who's your favorite? So let's look at this. We got Terrence Brooks. Timmy Jernigan. Didn't Ancilio put a hit on him after that or something?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, now Nick Moody doing the reverse you.
That's good too.
I like that. What else we got
Christian
here?
Ponder is my favorite.
There he is, Christian Ponder.
That was as he was running into the tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got one more coming. We got DeMarcus Walker doing the reverse you also. So.
That is good.
Christian Ponder, though, that
Christian
was pretty
Ponder was
nice.
my favorite. Right to the. And
right
Jameis was also good. Jameis gave him the shush.
Did it?
He gave him a shush.
Oh, the shush. Yeah. We got that coming up, too.
Good too. Yeah, that was
so some good times there. Thank you, CP7. That was one of your highlights there.
One of my favorite highlights. He ran wild against them in the rain, if you recall, down there.
That's true.
He ran wild and gave him a little bit of that. Yeah, it's nicely done.
Something. All right, when we come back in the Warchant Man Cave show, we got some more fun stuff to talk about, Miami. You know what? I'm not bringing out those photos you just like. I'm passing on those this year.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, if you do it, I'm not looking this year. I'm not looking.
All right, but we're gonna talk about the new, and we got a special untapping going here at the 7th. We got a
an all-timer.
We're gonna get the very exclusive taste here.
Boom.
Something from Southern
I know what
Tier.
it is. I know what it is.
Southern Tier. So we will do that next on the Warchant Man Cave show. Welcome back to the Warchant Man Cave show and our favorite sponsors here, Jimmy John's, Freaky Good, Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh. Load up on those mini Jimmys. And of course the 7th Hill Tap Room. We're getting some luscious craft beers. We had the wine last week. Hard to believe they even have some good wine here, Jeff.
The wine is delicious. We had a Chilean wine last week, as I recall. It was very good. Yeah.
And before we get to, we're getting this in a second, but we got the season opener here, Jeff, we're calling it the Seminole Hard Rock. Now, I'm curious if you know all the different names they've had over the years in that stadium.
Sun Life. Dolphin Stadium.
Dolphin.
Land Shark.
Land Shark. Good,
okay, I got you there. Joe Robbie.
Joe Robbie, yeah. I think there's one more.
Golly, where else we got?
Pro Player. Very good,
right?
Ryan
Pretty
Kelly.
well. I got the 4. Yeah, I got 4 of the 5.
I thought there was actually 6, but I don't have to go back. I just Joe Robbie. I guess I threw.
I said Joe Robbie,
but we didn't actually play in Joe. I don't think it was Joe Robbie when we played.
Okay, so not Joe Robbie. All right. Well.
But that was pretty good there. All right, let's join by our friend Hal, who's going to come over here and tell us about this special.
Well, Hal's an expert, by the way. If you come to 7th Hill Tap Room,
they know their beer,
and
they love telling you about the beer and where it's from and how it's made.
And Mandy, they know what they're doing.
Very special about this house.
Yeah.
We do.
Please
So
tell us just how special this beer is.
This beer is special. Main reason is because it's really rare, and a lot of different things went into making it. It's from Southern Tier, out of Lakewood, New York, which is basically just in the very southwesternmost part of New York State, just above Pennsylvania. This beer is in their Cellar Vault series, which is, I think this is the third one in this series that they've made, but each beer in this series, they only make 30 barrels. And a barrel is 31 gallons, so they only made 930 gallons.
And you guys here at Seventh Hill got one.
And we got some. Yeah.
You
they got the
people.
monopoly. No one else in Tallahassee has it.
You must know people.
They know Bill.
It's okay to boast. It's all right to boast.
We like to bring in great beer here, so we're always looking specifically for the best rare stuff.
So,
and this one's really interesting. It is, first of all, it's a milk stout that is tapped on a nitro tap.
Okay.
Which is different from CO2 because it gives you smaller bubbles.
That's right.
The head cascades differently. It actually, you can pour it right in the glass. It won't bubble over because the nitro just performs differently in the liquid. But it is aged in maple bourbon barrels. Barrels that first house bourbon.
What are you talking about here?
After that, somebody put maple syrup in the barrels to age the syrup and give them a bourbon flavor. And then there's still syrup left in that barrel because you can't get all the syrup out of the end of the bottle, so there's still some syrup left in the barrel, pardon me, and then they age the beer in there. Don't know off the top of my head for how long, probably several months though. Yeah. And then it came out with this ridiculously silky smooth, slightly sweet.
Let's give it a taste here, Jeff.
Maple isn't overpowering.
What's the percentage of alcohol?
10% alcohol.
Nice.
I should have made you guess because you would not have been able to guess.
I cheated. I got a sample earlier, Jeff. He's right. It is. Well, I can't not have that.
Well, that's like heaven.
Right, it's not overly sweet, not overly bourbony.
No,
you do get some
it's a stout, but it's not a heavy stout. This is a nice, smooth.
The key is you don't want to be overwhelmed by the liquor. You don't want to be overwhelmed by the bourbon.
That's a sign of a good beer if they can do that.
A lot of times when you age a stout in bourbon barrels, you get a lot of bourbon flavor.
You get a lot of
this
bourbon.
One is
subtle.
Strangely smooth and subtle.
Ah, cheers again, brother. That is delicious.
Thank you. Please come by the 7th Hill and check that out.
Absolutely.
Opposite end of the spectrum, we also have a Blood Orange Goza, which is a sour beer from Southern Tier. Totally different, also really delicious
Big
stuff.
fan of the sours.
I know Gene didn't like it that much.
I'm not a big sour, but you try that.
I like sours. I've had a sip. Yeah, no, I like the sours. I do.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Hal. You can talk to Hal, and they've got a lot of other very knowledgeable bartenders here. They know their stuff here, and I respect that.
Bill and they know what they're doing.
Well, they opened the Seminole Hard Rock. We got a couple scenes from the first couple games here. If we want to pop that up here,
is it packed?
They are packing this place up. They were so excited, Jeff, about this. You got to see this.
That Ponder picture.
Yeah, there we go. There's a Seminole Hard Rock. See, that's their logo. See, that's their season opener. Look how into it they are.
They are pumped.
Really excited about this.
Big year.
Yeah, look at that big crowd there for that game.
Littered for the there it is.
So they're all over that.
Oh wow, that hurts your feelings.
Yeah, that's an older one, but that's not the same stadium. All right, Jeff, we're going to talk about what it means to be a Canes fan because I know there's a special character to being a Canes fan here, and I know you're all about it. And let's start with number one. You got to be a bandwagon fan, right? And that's those stadiums.
Well,
right?
the biggest thing you have to do is not have ever gone there as a student. I mean, it's very rare that you meet a Canes fan who actually went to the university.
Really
please get on up, right? Well, so noise and there's that.
And that's the fans putting up the U. I mean, you got to be able to do
the gang symbols are important. Sure, gang symbols are important. Gotcha.
So you're in with that, all right. And, the thing that really I think defines them is the thug mentality, the fighting. If there are any more games where there's more fights,
not typically.
Miami,
a lot of pride.
We're going to see. Now this one, the UM fan bites FSU, so they like to bite.
There's biting. There's biting. That's always good.
We'll get some other good fight scenes here, I think.
Oh, look, here we got some more good ones here. Yeah.
There's one if we have it here. It's one where look at this guy taking the swing. And he just completely whiffs and then falls on his butt.
And then falls on his face. Yeah, that's always good. That's always good. Now, somebody could have got a good kick to the face there as soon as he went down. I mean, that's just me. There's that.
So that kind of defines, I mean, is there any other distinguishing characteristics you can think about?
Bandanas and cocaine? I'm guessing. That's a terrible thing to say. I don't mean that. That's an awful thing to say.
Jeff.
I don't.
Yes, you do. All right, but let's, Miami's favored, and we would not be surprised if they won this game now, but let's play the other side. FSU could very easily win this game. It could win in a shootout.
God, if they do,
And if they do,
the feeling of
that's the
dread
thing.
and
Where does this
sorrow.
go from this point, Jeffrey? Because think about it.
Well, I
it
believe
would
in-
mean 7 in a row. It'd be a noon
And
record.
they got to come here next year.
It would also mean 6 straight down there. FSU would have won 6 in a row down there in their own stadium.
Well, it's already called, basically
Seminole.
Seminole South. I mean, is what that is, right? I mean, we own that area.
I mean, think of the meltdown, because what do they typically do if they lose to FSU when they're built
They
up
stop
real
playing
high?
hard.
And think of the next 4 games. They got Carolina, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, Pitt.
You don't think Mark Richt's going to stem the tide?
You don't think those players are, we've lost 6 in a row, we're breaking in this new fangled stadium, we're favored to win, we're in the top 10. They're losing to this horrible FSU team. What happens to the mentality? They lose at least 2 of the next 4, don't they?
Well, I would think the rest of their season is what it is. I'm not overly concerned about that. What it means to their psyche is that they understand, the idea of ownership and how difficult it is to be able to break away and find a new place, a new life, a new world. And they haven't been able to find it since joining the ACC.
But let's
They've
go to
never
that.
been to the
Doesn't this
ACC
become like
championship.
Florida, Tennessee? At that
Oh,
point, if they lose
sure.
this,
I mean,
and they lost,
yeah.
Tennessee lost 11 in a row, and I think it kind of goes to that level, doesn't
Oh,
it?
I
If you
think-
lose this
yeah.
one, because Brad Kai is probably he's probably going to leave after this year, right?
Yeah.
And then they got to come here, and FSU has a new defensive coordinator. They're going to lose. That'll be 8
Oh,
in a row.
wow. Gene taking shots already.
Well, they probably will,
No,
right?
they probably will. I think they will. So then it's up to 8 in a row
Yeah.
and 10 of the last 11.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
when you're
it
getting to that
begins.
rarefied area.
Well,
I
then, Gene,
think.
is it a rivalry? Is it really
No,
a rivalry?
that's a good point,
The other
Jeff.
team has to win every now and again for it to be a rivalry. You would begin to ask yourself if it's actually a rivalry.
It's kind of like FSU Duke at that point, then,
Well,
right?
what you would say is there was a time, in years ago, children, before you started watching football, Miami was relevant. They mattered in some way. They actually once at one time
Kinda like
called-
Army used to be good
sure.
back in the day.
Cincinnati, Minnesota, Army. There was a
Do you remember
time-
that, Earl?
Yep.
Earl probably
You
remembers
remember
that.
this when Army was really good. Yeah. Yeah, they were really,
See?
there was a time that
Yes, was good too.
I remember when San Francisco had a very good football team.
Really?
It was the college actually did. Yeah. So we'll start to look at Miami in that capacity.
Gentlemen, you also have to look at it this way, in that at the beginning of this series, Miami won 8 of the first 9 games, and because of that, Florida State's never led the series. The series is now 31-29 Miami. and Florida
Within
State
one
holds on
game
to
of
2.
even it up. So that is a long time
Well,
of
that's
total
like when Florida
domination.
initially,
after-
they like spouting that record. Florida, I hate to get off that because we're not playing Florida this week, but they spout when they had all those games they wouldn't play in Tallahassee. So if you start throwing those out.
How many points did Florida score against Florida State last year?
Well, I like to say the offense scored
I
0.
was going to say 2 points. 2 points.
But that's the thing, and I think our friend John Goodson likes to say, tell them that we won whatever it was, 27-0.
So that they'll say 2?
Make them admit.
Make them admit
that we
that it
gave
was
them a
2?
safety.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's a
good.
good rule
That
right
is
there.
good
All right,
rule.
let's wrap this thing up. We come back, Jeff, a little cornhole. I feel you're going to be hot. I know this is
You
your
get a
game.
sense that I'm going to?
This is your game,
I'm
I
good at
think.
this. I can do this in my sleep. I'm ready
Really?
to beat your
You're
ass.
just
Here
Mr.
we go.
Wow,
Let's do this
Mr.
thing.
Talking
Here
some
we
smack.
go.
But I'm going to
All
take
right.
Earl, send us out, man. Give us a good go Noles here. Come on, Earl. He's getting psyched up for it. Come on,
Give
buddy.
us a good go Noles.
FSU 1 time.
Yes.
There we
FSU
go.
2 times. FSU 3 times. FSU all the damn time.
There.
Well done, Earl.
It takes a while for that hamster to get going.
I noticed how he was like getting all psyched up. Good job, Earl.
Shit.
Hello, Jimmy Johns.
Jimmy John's here.
What took you so long?
Jimmy John's, freaky fresh, freaky fast.
I love a man in uniform.
Welcome back to the Warchant Man Cave Show here at the 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachia Parkway. Just drinking some yummy craft beers here. And
Oh,
also,
man,
thanks to our friends at Jimmy John's. Freaky good, freaky fast, freaky fresh. Tons of locations in Tallahassee, plenty by the stadium, and get those mini Jimmys. You saw those earlier, jimmyjohns.com. And Jeffrey,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna do a little. This is a traditional tailgate
little
game.
cornhole action.
Cornhole. This is old school here. We're going to do a little
Never
bit
get
of this
used to
today.
that phrasing, but sure.
All right.
Here we go.
Now, before we get going, we've talked about FSU during this whole segment. Kind of things haven't gone so well.
No,
Right
no.
now, if you were to pick a final record for FSU, what do you think the final record would be? Whoo! Let's say regular season. Don't even just regular season. When they finish with that Florida game, what are we going to be looking at?
8-4.
8-4, huh? Yeah,
You're feeling 7 and 5.
Yeah, you know, I think if I were to say the over and under on losses, I'd say 4.5.
Well, that's
They
where
could
I'm
go
at,
either
and
way.
I'm trying to take the under. I'm holding out hope that one final turn of events is going to take place, and that would be this Saturday in Miami to prolong the agony of Canes fans everywhere.
Yes, we've
somehow
talked
winning
about
this
that.
game 50-48. Boom, there we go.
That would be apropos.
I will take it.
All right, go ahead. We're going to play a little corner, and we'll go through some picks here. Jeff gets the first shot.
That's a good start, baby.
It's on there, close.
There we go, yeah.
Georgia Tech at Pitt, Jeff. Pitt. Oh,
That's
it's in there.
center cut, baby.
Minus 6.5. It's at Pitt. Georgia Tech.
I'm taking Pitt. I'm
Jeff rolling right now, man.
I'll
Look at
pull
that.
around, Gene. That's also good.
I think I'm in trouble there.
Time to cornhole.
Wow. Okay.
There we go.
Pitt, I'm with you there on Pitt. Georgia Tech's awful.
All right, I will move out of the way to give you a fair opportunity. I will sip on my beautiful
that's
double
gonna be tough.
IPA.
I got to make 3 out of 4. Got to go in there just to tie.
I'm pretty good at cornhole. We're
I
all
guess
right
so,
there.
man.
All right, Virginia.
A little better than this. I noticed the beer pong.
That's
or wine
true.
pong.
Or wine pong. I'm not very good at that.
Good at those.
Virginia Tech is at North Carolina, and you know I am on Virginia Tech.
You're on the
and
bandwagon.
yeah, I am. So what you got?
You know,
it's minus 2.5.
I know there's a hangover factor, and that you've seen it time and time again.
Time and time again.
Beats FSU, especially in upset, they go in the tank.
Good call. See, you are a gambler, Gene. You pay attention to
but
these
I am
things.
still taking Carolina in this,
Wow.
and maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. It's not because I also have this artificial thing. Well, they beat Florida State. They must be really good.
No, I don't think that's true.
But I built my head. I'm totally wrong on that.
All right, so a little short. So the rest of these have to go in, and you blocked yourself. All right, so you and and it's over. Cameron's already victorious.
Oh, we got one. At least not
there we go. There we go.
Oh, so made it a little close.
Made it closer. Okay, so I've got Virginia Tech. You got North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oklahoma minus 10 against Texas. Here's the thing about this.
No, I know.
Last year, Texas shocked everybody. I don't think it happens this year. I think they're reeling. They're up against the ropes. I'm going to take Oklahoma and cover the 10. You're going to take Texas.
Points. I think Oklahoma wins. I don't like the 10 points.
I love that Texas A&M defense. I think it's one of the best in the country. I never thought there would be a day where I said that about them.
Wow.
But they are playing exceptionally
it is
well.
At home, true.
The 7 points I don't like. That's a big number for these two teams. But I would take A&M and give the 7 to Tennessee.
I don't like that 7. I think I said when we did the Warchant report before, I think I said this is almost a push game for me. If I could just call it push, can I just call it push?
Well, 13 to 6.
Because here's the thing, you know
yeah.
Tennessee's going to implode. They've been living on
the edge,
and they're about to go. So just give me a push on that one.
LSU without Leonard Fournette on the road against Florida.
Now without Leonard Fournette.
Without Leonard Fournette, give me Florida.
I hate to say that, but you're right on that.
I think
they have one.
They're getting 2.5 at home too.
They got one thing going for them. So yeah.
All right, finally, FSU's at Miami. We're going to do that. By the way, that number is Miami minus 3.
And now it's gone up to 3. You know, well here, you know what? We made our picks early, and I picked FSU by 1, so I guess I have to take Miami.
You have to take Miami?
But I pick FSU to win. I don't know too many points.
So you got FSU to win the game, then you're not taking Miami because Miami's given the 3. So you've got FSU winning outright. You've gone back?
No, I didn't pick. I picked Miami by 1. Miami's favored by 3.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I've wrestled with it. I've gone back and forth all week long, and I am such a homer in this situation, especially in this particular situation.
I know you're such a fan of the Canes.
This makes it really difficult. I just think that we're a defense that's not going to get right anytime soon, but I also think we're going to score a lot of points. So I am going to take Florida State to steal one on the road and a classic.
Nice.
I've gone back and forth. I keep doing this. I'm hedging my bet.
No, we should do is just take the over. I don't know what the over-under is, but let's just take the over.
120. I'm going to take the over 120. There's my bet. That's the safe bet. I won't be betting this in my real life.
Yeah.
But I will say thank you to Jimmy John's and the 7th Hill Tap Room.
Yes.
And to you.
Do yourself a favor. You're in Tallahassee. And hopefully they change the game and move it to Tallahassee, Jeff.
Wouldn't that be something?
And night game, you can come here and check this place out if they do.
I don't think it's going to happen. But
There's an outside slim possibility.
To move it here?
Yes.
Well, let's hope that happens. Wouldn't that be something? Then I would really feel bullish on the Noles, I guess. Our defense is still our defense.
Well,
Peace, everybody.
Hey, good night. Thanks.
Cheers.